Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, your host, World of Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the TVP 5051 and comparing it to the Bat-Chatillon 25T, the Tier 10 French autoloader versus the Czechoslovakian autoloader. Now, both of these tanks can be extremely strong if they're played in their own respective environments. The TVP has a lot of good things going for it. 1240 clipping potential is great, but you have to penetrate 4 shells, and it doesn't have the best penetration in the first place. Even the heat is absolute dog crap on it. I hate the heat. I have to say it now. I've played this tank quite a bit, and the heat is some of the most irritating rounds because you've got such a bad premium damage already sitting at 260. And when you're shooting heat and you're bouncing half of your shells, that's only like 500 damage, and they shoot you back for way more. Yeah, it's a pain. The Bat-Chatillon actually has decent heat, and it's able to do quite a bit of damage. The heat at 325 is enough to easily get through most tier 10 heavies like E100 turrets, Jagdpanzers, all that kind of stuff, easily cutting through it, especially with the top speed of 65, the best mobility at tier 10, and as well, light tank camo. This tank has a lot of advantages, although, again, the clip on this tank really gives it that edge. A lot of people ask, is the Bat-Chatillon irrelevant because the TVP exists? And no, it is definitely not irrelevant. The Bat-Chat has camouflage and it has mobility. The TVP does have good mobility, but it's big, and that means bad camo, at least for a medium. It gets very easily detected and outspotted by most medium tanks. It doesn't have the best V range, and it doesn't have the best camouflage, which causes it to be very poor in certain circumstances. A normal medium, let's say like the Progetto or the M48 Patton, I could easily push in mid-ridge, do a decent job there, trying to bounce shells. This tank, you really can't do that. The hull armor is nothing. I've been penned in the turret with 183s, the hull, you don't expect to bounce shells in this tank. It's less armor than a Vickers Light, and that's a light tank, so yeah, that's showing you some things. But on the other hand, it is quite quick. It's got very good mobility, and it's got such a strong clip. That is what makes it strong, is the clipping potential. But it again, has a lot of weaknesses. I'm actually lucky that I bounced that, but I pretty much realized I wasn't going to be able to pen him in the first place, so there's no point to poke that, because I'm not going to be getting that shell out anytime soon. Now, with their Patton and their 2 medium spot over there, that means that probably most of their team's going to be heading that way, but why did this get shot down? That's a good question. We can try and spot over towards the heavy side, but it doesn't look like we're detecting anything anytime soon, which means this is where I'm going to leave my Progetto. I'm looking at their lineup. They got an E100 and a T57 heavy. There's the E100, meaning that I can make my way all the way across here, and hopefully we can start getting some shells into the side of vehicles like the T57. That's a very, very strong auto-loading heavy, but if we're able to play this correctly, we should easily be able to dump shell after shell after shell into his tank, but we have to play it correctly. That is the real question. Can we do this correctly in a way where we don't bleed? Now, we've got that 57 heavy right here, and there's 1 shell into him. Let's keep on going here. There's a tracking shot. There's another shell, and are we going to be able to get that last one out? Well, of course we are, because this is what the TVP is meant to do. That was 1112 damage, and we brought what was about a half health tier 10 to nothing. That is what's strong. Your Bat-Chat couldn't do that. But at the same time, the Bat-Chat could have easily sat in a bush and just spotted the enemy tanks, where in this vehicle I have to be a lot more patient because I've got to wait for my enemy to come to me. I have to feed off of my enemy's mistakes, where the Bat-Chat, you just kind of flank. But that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be doing a Bat-Chat move. Now, we do got the Patton right off to the side, and I'm going to be shooting at that Patton as much as I possibly can because, of course, it is... Oh, no. Yeah, again, I don't... What the heck? Okay. You know what? No, I'm not... That wasn't even my fault there. But to be fair, you wouldn't expect an E100 to be that observant and notice the tank coming up behind him like that. But you'll notice my team's already blown it. This is the biggest issue with the TVP, is teams. You have to flank. You have to do your job trying to come up behind the enemy, come up with ideas, and get out some big damage. While you're doing that, you have to rely on your team to not blow the game. And that's quite hard to do, as many of you know. Yeah. Oh, we're spotted again. Oh, I don't want to be spotted. Yeah, I really don't know what to do. Now, we do have the clip potential still. That's something that's, very nice. That means that I can make really aggressive moves here and get away with them. This E100, I can't pen him whatsoever, though. That's not good. I really want to be able to penetrate that E100, and judging that he's completely red in the certain area he's at, that's not great. That's obviously not what you want. That's quite tricky to deal with. But at the same time, maybe, just maybe we'll be able to get some shells out. I don't know. We're going to find out, I guess. I'm going to keep waiting. But, yep, there goes the next tank. The SG-122 did take out one of the tanks on their side, which is good. That's actually very good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that mobility this tank was given and try and clear this guy. But, yeah, looking at the enemy lineup already, it looks like that is just a last-ditch effort to try and get out as much damage as possible. Even if this U-100 shoots me, I'm just going to try and shoot him as much as I can back. That's obviously going to be really good for me. So there you go. There is a whole clip dumped out into that U-100, and now I'm going to drive away. Okay. Well, that's the TVP for you. This is why it has a lot of disadvantages. I have to say, the teams I've been having in Blitz today are, not just today, the last 3 days I've been having in Blitz actually make me not want to play the game. There's a certain point, especially in my mind, a breaking point, where you try as much as you can, you try and play your tank safely, you try and take shots, you clear a 57 heavy right at the beginning of the game, then you're trying to clear the M48 Patton. I pretty much lowered 2 completely full health vehicles, and yet my team still pulls out zeros, 37, zeros, and then 770, and it's just, why? Why are teams so bad? I don't know. That, like, it's every game. And, you know, some of the players aren't bad, but the other ones, they're bad. And it doesn't make sense to me how a team can be that bad. 3 of their tanks on their team do 3,000 plus. I'm the only one that does 3,000, and that's with me trying my balls off. So, we're going to go into the Bat Chatillon now. This tank does not rely on its team as much, especially to get out damage. Because it's a light tank, because it has that light tank camo, I pretty much could have shot that Patton where I was with the TVP, and I wouldn't have been detected. That's a major advantage. But on a map like this is a major disadvantage. Now, granted, the TVP would struggle just as much on a map like this, but this is a close quarters map. Because most of the vehicles sit in the middle, you really have a tricky time spotting enemy tanks and getting shells out, which isn't great. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to flank all the way through heavy side. They've got a Kronwagen and an E100. Now, if the Kron's smart, he's going to push mid-ridge, but you really can't make judgments anymore with teams in Blitz, because every time you try and make a judgment, well, you lose. My TVP has 6 defeats in a row now. And yeah, I pretty much gave up. I had a couple 3,000, I had a 3,500. They're just all defeats. Now, there is a Vickers Light, of course, which is a very strong tier 10 light tank, and I don't want to play with him in the slightest. There's the 50M. For some reason, the enemy team decided to push this way as well. But because I am smart enough, I knew that my team is coming with me. That way, I don't have to worry too much about issues like this. So we're going to drive as quickly as we can, try and get out of here, because obviously I don't want to play with that. That's a Vickers Light, that's an E50M. Yeah, no thank you, not on my watch. I'm detected, and I don't want to be detected in mid-ridge either, but really right now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that we don't get shot. That's obviously what I want to do, so oof, all right, we're fine. We are fine there. The 183 has been spotted on the enemy team. We also got the 100 over here, and oh boy, that is not a tank you want to play with. Yeah, we're going to back up. Nope, we're going to get hit by him. I really didn't think he was going to hit me because he didn't seem like the smartest of players, but, well, as you can see, that was my mistake. But I'm getting quite antsy with these battles, so already our team's doing a pretty decent job. Because I was able to get some decent spots into the enemy, that's not too bad. Now, we got a Vickers Light over here, who we completely missed, and of course, I can't do anything to that Vickers Light. I can say that Vickers are the bane. Oh my god, the Bat Chat. This is one issue with the Bat Chat I can definitely vouch for, is the gun. Its gun is bad. By all means, the gun struggles to hit easy shots, and that's not something you want for a light tank. You want a light to be mobile, you want it to be able to hit easy shots and get away with them. This tank really, really struggles with that, something you don't want, of course, with a light. So we're not really getting out the most damage this game, but at the same time, we got a vehicle like this 140 over here that's pretty isolated. We also got that 183 who's showing me his turret. We're going to aim in on that. Oh my god. Again, that is the wonderful accuracy of the Bat Chatillon. Now, thankfully, we've got 3 shells, but I wouldn't be surprised if that shell had bounced. Thankfully, didn't. So we were able to finish off that 183. We got the 140 off to the side over here, who, with my 183 dead eye staring at him, what we can do is we can either try and bait this 140, or we can just do exactly what I'm going to do right now, and try and get 3 shells right out onto his tank. There's one. Here comes number 2, and of course, let's get one more out. Let's track him again. That's obviously what I want to do. And this 183 is going to completely turn around and not even look at the Object 140, which isn't what I want. I really don't know what this 183 is doing. Big brain, that's all I'm going to say. Big brain from the 183. Now, we got the Batchat right over here. Not the Batchat, I'm losing my mind. The Object 140. Now, if this 140 fires, I will push this one. I will push him because I've got the advantage here. Our 183 is not playing the best, but he could be playing worse. So, you know, it's not atrocious, but I wish he was. Yes, that's exactly what we needed. Now we've got the time to clip this guy. So there's one shell into the Object 140. Here's numero 2. And even though we're probably not going to kill him, we're still going to get that third shell out. And yes, look at that. A fire finishing off the Object 140. Now the TVP probably would have done just as well in a scenario like this. Granted, the clip would have helped me out big time. In fact, the clip would have helped me more. We still did a decent job. We did 2,900. We didn't do the best in both of these games. Sorry, my voice is dying there. We didn't do the best in both of these games, but at least we came out with a victory and 3,014 damage. I love the Bat Chat. It's one of my favorite tanks. And even though the TVP is very strong, just looking at this, like, defeat, top on the team. You go to a battle before, defeat, oh boy, look, top of the team. It's just every single game is somehow so incredibly bad. Another game here, defeat, top of the team. Like, it's actually incredible how bad some of the teams are in Blitz. And it's getting me quite annoyed. I'm on the verge of making a video just completely ranting about Blitz teams. And I do partially blame it on Wargaming because they need to fix the matchmaker. Or not the matchmaker, but the way people play. They need to force people to play and learn as they play. I've made this comment before, and I know a lot of people agree and a lot of people disagree with my comment. My comment was that anybody that's less than like 42, 45% win rate either needs to try and learn to play the game better, or they just shouldn't bother playing the game at all. Because by then, what's the point of playing a game? You're not really contributing much to the game, and at the same time, you're just ruining other people's fun. It's 2 losses, even if you're a person that's not great. Let's say you're older at the game, I understand. But knowledge is something that you can put into the game. And if you don't care enough to put knowledge and you find it fun just driving around in a tank, then why not go play like GTA and drive around? It's something that I have in my mind. It ruins other people's happiness. And, you know, it's kind of mean to say that people that are low win rate shouldn't be playing, but at least at high tiers, they should learn to get better before playing at high tiers. That's my personal opinion, but that's something that I hold very strong to. I tell a lot of people, and a lot of people have argued with me on this, I don't change my opinion on that because I think the game should be statistically based to an extent. Of course, if you're 50%, I don't care. You're winning 50% of your games. You know where to go. You know what to do. But teammates that, like, on one of my Dead Rail games that I played, I was in my TVP, my Vickers Light, and I was going medium side, and the Vickers Light decided to go heavy in a Vickers Light. And, well, you'll never guess what happened. I couldn't push medium. I couldn't fight the heavies. The mediums flanked, and we died. It's sad, and Blitz gets me quite annoyed. But on to the topic of the Bat Chat versus the TVP. I actually find the Bat Chat stronger because you can get away with more in the Bat Chat. The TVP is like a Lorraine. You can do very well in it, but at the same time, if you make mistakes, you will very quickly die. My win rate went from 71% today in it to 66%, so it definitely can make mistakes, and it can definitely fall apart very quickly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button. But other than that, hopefully, all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and to be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.